Hello everyone, I am Dr. Alekhya Anand. I hope that everyone is safe and healthy, both in body and soul. And now a note to the youth, especially. Don't think I'll just do some bakwas or something. I know our wavering social media minds has already suggested us to ignore this audio. But trust me, I am here just to instill a ray of hope by sharing my perspective of battling with COVID myself and its associated psychological impact and how me and my family has overcome this horrific quarantine period. Yeah, I know everyone is now focusing on getting fit by following cult or clothing right now, but did you give it a thought that you should make your mind fit as well to fight this pandemic? Well, then I will tell you my instincts by sharing my experiences on how I dealt with the life and its situation. Yes, the life of my family and my responsibility as a doctor daughter and the death of a close relative. Yeah, I call it as a horrific period. Not because we had severe symptoms, but the psychological impact which Mr. Virus has created in our lives. Some situations like these remind us yes, we are after all humans, and things like these stir our souls, especially when your own family is affected, right? Made me scared in the first instance is the death of my aunt. She was thrombocytopenic, that is low platelets, and diabetic as well, and she succumbed to death. I've seen many patients die in front of my eyes, but never have I felt this heartbroken. You realize the value of life only when your loved ones are affected, isn't it? Likewise, how much more heartbroken would our God be when the people who love Him suffer? Therefore, God protects the people who love Him and pray to Him wholeheartedly in any difficult times. I will tell you why I started believing in this statement that I just said above. Like every other Tuesday, I went to St. Anthony's Shrine. Like always, there was this ambulance car siren, and as usual, I prayed for the patient in it. But suddenly, I was taken into a state of mind where I was just staring at our Lord statue and asked myself, there are many devotees who come to the Lord, worship Him, and return. How come God has time? Or rather, how would He categorize to which person what is needed? How does He hear the worries of millions of devotees? I had this unanswered question wandering in my mind throughout. Just before the exit, I went to the statue of St. Jude, and there was the sayings of the saint. The first two lines just attracted my attention. It was something like this. I don't remember the exact words, but this is how I understood. The people who praise the Lord and pray wholeheartedly as that of a child, their prayers will be heard and will be answered. Yes, I got my answer. I got it immediately, and I was really moved. And yes, the motivation or the spiritual sayings just lasts for the time being because of a busy schedule. And yes, of course, it was the same with me as well. Few months later, my mom, dad, sis were tested COVID positive. I was like a COVID warrior doing COVID duties at my home itself. I'm not exaggerating, but that's how I felt. It was my responsibility. I gave it a thought. Maybe there would be a purpose. That's why I was tested negative. So that I could serve my family, and the tragedy of my close relatives, both husband and wife together, succumbed to death in a week gap to this demon. which made us even more anxious, hopeless. And I was in a state of depression, handling all by myself. The emotional turmoil was at its peaks, seriously.